Ohayou gozaimasu! Hello there. Well, it's me, Crono. What's up, all the swordlings out there, and hopefully some of my fans as well. I see, there's a couple of you in. I see all your names. Alright. So, to explain what's going on, Sephiroth Sword 57 could not show up today, unfortunately. So I had to take over for a bit. And I decided, well, maybe it's time for me to do a Q&A. Right? Where is Cloud? Well, Cloud is actually away and training at the moment, so that's why I'm the only one here at the moment. We're not always together. So yes, for today's stream, I decided that I would answer some questions from your swordlings and fans out there. It could relate to me and my game, or Sephiroth Sword 57, or my involvement in the series. That is Sephiroth Sword 57, the Sephiroth Sword 57 show, and Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden, which I'm all part of. Now, so from what I understand, Sephiroth Sword 57 set up so he's streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. So I have to keep tab on some of these chats here. Let's see. What makes Chrono Trigger the best game? Well, before I met Sephiroth Sword 57, I thought that Chrono Trigger was the best game ever made. And objectively, Final Fantasy VII is the best one. Of course. But Chrono Trigger has always been my favorite, which you can probably understand why. Now, Sephiroth Sword 57 was able to show me objectivity in game design, and it just all made sense. Final Fantasy VII is just a better game. Not that Chrono Trigger is a bad game, per se. It is a great game. Which sword is the best? Cloud's Buster Sword or your Rainbow Blade? Whoa, okay, we're getting into some controversial topics here. Whether we're almost getting to the point of asking who's stronger, me or Cloud, and I'm not gonna answer that question. But personally, I think the Rainbow Blade is stronger. I mean, come on, the Buster Sword is the original starting weapon for Cloud. Crono, is that your natural hair? It is. Yes, I have red hair. This is what I was born with. Let's see. Wow, there's a bunch of questions here. Now, before I continue on, I would like to do a little introduction of my own. I saw Sephiroth Sword 57 doing one, and it inspired me, so check this out. Cha-cha! Here we have it. This is my introduction sheet. Now, my name is Crono, and I am, well, a loyal friend of Sephiroth Sword 57, who is also my master. Now, as you see, my companion is Cloud, which you probably already knew. And my original game was Chrono Trigger. Now, there's actually some question I would like to address when it comes to Chrono Trigger. And that is the fact that Chrono Trigger was released for a Nintendo system first. And this is something that Sephiroth Sword 57 has mentioned before. But yes, it's true, I used to be part of Nintendo. I am not loyal to that company anymore. Sephiroth Sword 57 showed me the way. And now I know that the PlayStation version of Chrono Trigger is much superior than the really bad Super Nintendo one. However, it has helped Sephiroth Sword 57 quite a bit to learn the insides of Nintendo, so I've given him all the information I knew about that terrible company. So don't worry, I am loyal to Sephiroth Sword 57. I don't care for that Nintendo company anymore. There we go. So, I wanted to get that out of the way. How do you feel about Chrono Cross? It's an amazing game. Not as good as Chrono Trigger, of course, but it is an amazing game and super underrated. And it is for the PlayStation, which is a great console. Was Nintendo always evil, or were they corrupted by the manipulative people from the West? No, Nintendo's always been evil. Now, Sephiroth Sword 57 is a little bit more, well, he has a little bit more knowledge on this topic. But Nintendo started off by being, well, they were working with the Yakuza, the Japanese criminal syndicate, as you probably already knew. Which, from the very beginning, they were working with criminals, which makes them criminals also. Crono, if Nintendo paid you 100 million yen, would you star in a new Nintendo game? Absolutely not. I would never do that. They would have to force me to do that. But even then, I would resist them. Now let's see here. Chrono-sama, my sister thinks you are very kawaii. Kawaii? Well, I guess that's a compliment. But I think the word you're looking for is handsome. I'm not some little boy. I'm an adult man. But I very much appreciate it. If you hate Nintendo so much, why did you go back and do your game again on the Nintendo DS? Well, that is actually was out of my hands. I couldn't do anything about it, unfortunately, because Nintendo forced Square Enix to re-release the Super Nintendo version on that bad handheld. So, that was I was already gone at that point. How would you feel if Nintendo sent you an invitation to join Smash? Do you mean that Super Smash Bros. Game? That game looks awful. I have seen Sephiroth Sword 57's review of the game and it looks terrible. Now, if I was invited for something else, another fighting game, I would definitely take that opportunity. Force you, I bet just one Luminaire would take care of any attempts at that. Exactly. Most Nintendo employees don't stand a chance against a real fighter. Could you beat Sephiroth in a fair fight? Now, I have to be honest here. I'm not sure. I would definitely put up a good fight. I don't know if I would be able to beat him, but I think I would get close to it. Which fighting game would fit you the best? I would like to like to join the roster of Soul Calibur. That would be really cool. I wanted to try out my katana on some of the warriors in those games. Oh, yes, I see that Vomi-san had the same idea. I guess he knows us all too well. Sephi-senpai so sugoi. I love what you do so much. Crono, could you tell me who the very best waifu is within the Sephiroth Sword 57 universe? 2B is kawaii, but Nanami is such a snack to look at. Well, I would say that, for me personally, well, they're both great. I think, I don't want to say too much about Nanami in case Sephiroth Sword 57 is listening in. So I will say, 2B is a really good choice, and she's a great friend as well. Now, I will be continuing to answer your questions, but I will also make sure to tell you some stories of the past, for those of you who don't know. Well, it's Crono from Chrono Trigger. That's right. Well, thank you very much. I love my game too. Now, as some of you know, hold on, let me ask you swordlings a question. Do you know who the first companion of Sephiroth Sword 57 was? If all of you could comment in the chat. Joachim. Now, that is true for in real life. Sephiroth Sword 57 and Joachim actually knew each other since they were small children. But we're keeping this inside the Sephiroth Sword 57 show universe and timeline. Now, okay, let's wait a little bit. I see that you... Well, I guess no one actually has guessed correctly. It's actually me, Crono. I am the first of all the video game characters that he befriended. If you take a look at the Sephiroth Sword 57 timeline, you'll see that the Chrono Trigger review, where I appeared in, is first in the timeline at the top. That is because he invited me to it. Now, most of you would probably think Shadow, right? Shadow the Hedgehog. But he wasn't until the Sonic the Hedgehog review that came afterwards. So yes, I was the first one. Which is why Sephiroth Sword 57 asked me first. So yes, what you see here is the first one. The first of Sephiroth Sword 57's friend. And also, let me talk about a little, well, this is my story together with Sephiroth Sword 57. Now, I'm going to be talking about from when I left Nintendo. You see, before the review, me and Sephiroth Sword 57 were acquaintances, but we weren't as close as we are now. This actually happened off screen, because the Chrono Trigger review is the first video in the Sephiroth Sword 57 timeline. Anything before that is actually not part of the show. But let me give you a little backstory for those of you who are interested. Now, I was actually ordered from Nintendo to go and assassinate someone who were, well, meddling in our business. Now, at the time, I was trusting this company. So I decided that I was going to assassinate this person. That person turned out to be Sephiroth Sword 57. And well, once I figured out where he was, I actually, well, I brandished my katana and I was ready to cut him down. That is when Sephiroth Sword 57, who had, well, his back turned to me, spoke. And he said, "Go ahead. Finish what you were supposed to do. I have always been a big fan of your game, and if this is what needs to happen, then I'd gladly be a sacrifice." Now, I'm not sure if Sephiroth Sword 57 knew at that time if I was part of Nintendo or not. He knew that I, Crono, was there, and there hasn't been a Chrono game in a long time. So, my theory is that he wanted there to be more Chrono games. So, I think that's what was going on, but since it's Sephiroth Sword 57, he probably had more knowledge. And he could have known that I was with Nintendo. Showing such courage really touched me, and the katana fell from my hand. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't deliver the final blow. And Sephiroth Sword 57 turned around to me, and he said, "Crono, How about you become my loyal companion and friend? And yes, that was the start of it. I knew this person was pure of heart and also objectively thinking. Now, I was in denial at the time about Nintendo. I saw them do all these awful things, like creating bad games like Mario and Zelda. But they said they were the good guys. I always suspected them deep in my heart. And once he confirmed it, I knew that what he said about Nintendo was true. Nintendo was an evil company. He went through all of the crimes that Nintendo had committed. And that is when I was 100% turned into a friend. And, in a sense, a swordling as well. I'm just like you guys. I look up to Sephiroth Sword 57. He is one of my best friends. And he's a huge inspiration for me. So yes, I will follow him to the end of time. Which is very fitting, since, well, you know what Chrono Trigger is about. So yes, that's how we met. Crono, which of you two, Seth-sama and yourself, do you consider the stronger martial artist? Well, Seth-sama, of course. He is the strongest martial artist I've ever witnessed. His potential is unlimited. It's truly amazing. I've seen what you can achieve in Chrono Trigger, and I can't imagine what destruction a fight between you two would unleash. Well, we two have only sparred in the past. We haven't had an actual serious fight where we went all out because, well, we have to take care of our surroundings. We wouldn't be able to do that and not, well, hurt anybody else around us. So we haven't gotten into a proper 100% fight. Now hold on every swording. Let me have a sip of some tonic. Whew, there we go. Incredible lore should be made into a video sometime. Well, it is the backstory between me and Sephiroth Sword 57. And now those of you watching know what happened before the timeline. I've never played your game. Any starting tips? Well, of course, the first tip would be to play the PlayStation version. That one has really cool opening animated anime cutscenes. And really cool music. And it's a great version of the game. So that's my starting tip. Now, for the next one, you should do everything that you can during the Lean Festival in the beginning. Make sure to do everything you can there. Be careful not to cut your microphone with your katana. Say, oh, I'm not Seth-sama. I'm here taking over for Seth-sama at the moment. I'm Crono. Have you ever done drugs, Crono? No, I would never do that. And you shouldn't either. Any of your swordlings should never do drugs. Those are very bad for you. Seth is such a great artist. Now, hold on there. I would appreciate it if you call my master Sephiroth Sword 57, Seth-san, Seth-sensei, Seth-sama, and other honorifics. It's quite disrespectful to try and be so familiar with my master. Okay? From now on, call him by his full name, or any honorifics. Japanese ones, that is. Seth-sama is preferable. Ever met Gino or Mallow? I don't know who any of those characters are. Oh, those are characters, I assume. They're not in Chrono Trigger, so I don't know who those are. That means something as abhorrent as Mr. Seth will be met with the banned katana. Yes. Absolutely. Don't do anything to get yourself in trouble like that. Seth-sama might be a little bit more lenient with you swordlings. But if you make fun of my master, or is disrespectful in any way, I'm going to have to time you out. Okay? Now let's see. Who is the other favorite character from your games beside yourself? Oh, that is a good question. Now, Magus is, of course, a great candidate, and also a great character from my game. I believe he's a fan favorite as well. So yes, I would go with Magus. If Seth-sama would turn to evil, could you stop him? Like last favor for good old friend. Well, if that happened, of course, Sephiroth Sword 57 has a pure and good heart and can't be swayed by evil. Now, if that ever happened, then I would stop him, no matter what. Because that is what friends do. They are from a Square RPG. Oh, those Gino and Mallow. I don't recognize those names. Now, most of you already know about the continuation of the timeline, but let me go over some of the videos that I appeared in. Just 1 second. Okay, so the first video I was in, as you all know, was the Chrono Trigger video. But I was also in the beginning of the Super Metroid review, where I told Sephiroth Sword 57 about Super Metroid, which was I used my insider knowledge from Nintendo to let him know about that game. And that's also how you knew that I worked with Nintendo in the past, and that Sephiroth Sword 57 has forgiven me. There is a chance that Seph-sama is too powerful for you, so I hope you keep training. Yes, always. I always keep myself in tip-top shape. And I keep training so that I can get stronger, in case I need to defend Sephiroth Sword 57. Ever plan on starting a Mansai podcast together with Cloud-san? Now we haven't done our Mansai bit in quite a while. Of course, we started doing it because of Sephiroth Sword 57. He showed us a really cool Japanese TV show called Downtown no Gaki no Tsukai Arahende. And it's a really cool Japanese comedy show. And that's how we got the inspiration to start our own Mansai. What is your training regiment? Well, I usually, since I am a katana wielder, most of my attacks are, based in, Kenjutsu. Of course, which Seph-sama has helped me out in quite a bit. But I also have some magic that I can use. I'm quite proficient in, magic and Kenjutsu combinations. So, I train in both. And I do it every day. Right, let's see. Since you've seen quite a few time periods in your travels, which one would you choose as your preferred one? I would have a hard time choosing between Super Sugoi hovercraft, Super Kawaii Cape Girls, and hanging out with Hanshi in present time. Now, here's the thing. I love traveling through all those locations, but I can't really choose a preferred one. But if I had to, it would be the present, the one that I'm part of, which makes sense. That is where I belong. I should not be part of any other timelines, and I can't be part of them either, or otherwise it will create a time paradox. That is where all my family and friends are, so yes, that would be my answer. But since I'm Crono in the Sephiroth Sword 57 show universe, I'd rather stay in the Sephiroth Sword 57 universe. So yeah. So, the next time I showed up in the Sephiroth Sword 57 timeline is actually the fight where I helped Sephiroth Sword 57 fight against Nintendo and his minions. Do you remember that one? I used Luminaire on Dark Souls and Minecraft and blasted them away. I defeated them in one attack, which I had powered up quite a bit. Alright. So what do you think about the events of Chrono Cross? I mentioned it earlier, but Chrono Cross is what Sephiroth Sword 57 would call Super Sugoi. It is a great game, it has a great story with great characters, and, well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but for those Chrono Trigger fans, well, there's something for you there as well. Crono, please tell Seth Senpai. I wish I could donate, but I spent all my money on Fumo museum pieces. I will however take a payday loan to pre-order the deluxe edition of Last Dream Central Redreamed. Okay. Alright. I will tell him that. Great content as ever, Seth-sama. Well, Seth-sama is not here, but I can give him the message. I have been following your universe for many years, and I'm excited to see the next arc. Say hello to Dave for me. Oh, that's right. Now, I'm sure a lot of you Swordlings are excited for what's in store in the future. Now, at the moment, you know that Sephiroth Sword 57 is focusing on streaming until he has gotten a new job. But you can look forward to, well, more additions to the universe and more content, video content that is, from Sephiroth Sword 57. He has been working very hard behind the scenes for you guys. So, I'm sure you will appreciate it. So yeah, Sephiroth Sword 57 will be back to working on content soon as possible. And of course, if you can help out, I didn't mention this in the beginning, but there is a donation link below if you want to support the Sephiroth Sword 57 channel, and, well, all of us who are part of the channel, until he has gotten a new job. Seth has powers that rival Hitokage Productions. Well, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm sure he does. You and Cloud can both use magic, but can Seth-sama? Now that is a good question. Now, we have seen Seth-sama use, well, he has used some moves, I believe Kagebunshin no Jutsu from Naruto, as well as Rasengan, and he has also unleashed his Bankai. Now, he was not As you probably know, he acted on instinct and subconsciously did those things whenever he was angered. So we don't know Seth-sama's full power and what he's capable of. But look forward to the future of Sephiroth Sword 57. I'm sure he has a lot of things planned. Now, I also know a couple of things since I'm part of it as well, but I can't talk about it, as you probably understand. I remember Seth was able to tell me how to apologize to a senior Japanese man with the utmost respect. It was Super Sugoi. Oh, that I can... Yes, he has taught me a lot of things as well, and how I should always treat Japanese people with respect. Which, being part of Square Enix, I was quite knowledgeable about it. And that goes for you swordlings as well. You need to show respect to Japanese people. They've given you so much entertainment throughout the years. I mean, look at JRPGs, manga, and anime, just to name a few. And also all types of stories from their culture, including history. Just like Seth-sama has said, we could learn so much from Japanese people to improve the West. What is Seth-sama's form called when he gets blue hair? Or that is his Bankai form, which I was able to witness. It was quite the show, I have to say. The amount of power that I saw that day really made me understand how powerful Sephiroth Sword 57 was. And still is. He still has that power inside him. What's the name of his Bankai? That is something I don't have any information on. You have to ask Sephiroth Sword 57 that question. Crono, how do you feel when people say they enjoy JRPGs, and when asked what they enjoy, they can only name your games and newer Final Fantasy games? Well, those games are great. All of them are great games. So that is really good taste. Now, of course, there's a lot more games beside, well, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, and the Final Fantasy games. But those are some of the best in the industry. By the way, all the swordlings out there, how about that Final Fantasy 16, huh? Doesn't that look amazing? I am really looking forward to playing that one. But I'm even more excited to have Sephiroth Sword 57 play that one, so that he can give an objective analysis of it. Now, unfortunately, Sephiroth Sword 57 does not have a PlayStation 5, but you can support Sephiroth Sword 57 so that he can get a PlayStation 5 later on. Crono, on which server do you play Final Fantasy XIV? I unfortunately am too busy to play Final Fantasy XIV that much. I know that Cloud plays it quite a bit. And I do believe that 2B plays it as well. Alright. Let's see here. So I'm looking at the timeline right now. All right. Have you ever played the Suikoden games? Yes, I have. I have played the first 2 games. Now, I know Sephiroth Sword 57 is a huge fan of those games as well. I really like them. They're great games. Great RPGs. Hey Crono, are you ever jealous at Shadow for being Seph's best friend? No, I'm Sephiroth Sword 57's best friend. We met first, remember? We are best friends. And also, don't just call him Seph. I said it earlier. Call him Seph-sama, Sephiroth Sword 57, or any other honorific. Seph-san, Seph-sensei. Be more respectful. I'm cautiously optimistic about Final Fantasy 16. Why? It looks amazing. You should be super excited. I wasn't the biggest fan of 13, Saga, and 15. Well, you need to go back and play them because they are amazing as well. The 13 games were really good, and 15 is great as well. I think you must have missed something when you played them, or you were playing some other games. And you just confuse it with something else. Is Shadow still missing? He is. Now, at the end of the timeline, in the Breath of the Wild review, remember that, well, Shadow was let go. His brainwashing was unlocked and removed. And he was thrown into another universe portal. So he could be anywhere now. We know he's not dead. Because we can feel it. We can just feel it in our hearts. He's not dead. But we still haven't found him. Crono, are you glad your name was never tarnished with a Smash Brothers appearance? Absolutely. I'm so glad they didn't force me into that awful game. How long has he been missing? Well, for now it's been 5 years now. It's been quite a while. Yes, unfortunately Noctis is no longer with us. That was quite a hard blow to our party. We lost one of our, well, he was very young. So it was very sad to see him go. But we will honor his memory and keep moving forward. And then defeat Nintendo. It will happen. Crono, have you or Sef-sama watched the Final Fantasy 15 prequel movie they made? It was Sugoi. I have, yes. And Sephiroth Sword 57 talked about it in his Final Fantasy 15 review, if you remember. Nintendo has their ways of getting what they want. Be careful, Crono. Oh, I will. This tune is such a jam. I agree. Corridor of Time is one of the greatest pieces in video game history, I would say. We have to thank Mitsuda-san and Uematsu-san for this incredible soundtrack. Now, so, do you Swordlings remember? Now this is an interesting one. Do you Swordlings remember the Aria of Sorrow review? That one Castlevania game. Now, there is a side story to that video that not a lot of Swordlings watched, unfortunately. It has very low views on the channel. And it is a video where me and Cloud first, well, that's when we became comrades. And true companions. Partners. So during that, well, when he did that review, he was actually at home resting because because he had been searching for Shadow for months. Without sleeping or eating or anything. He was desperately searching for Shadow. So what we had to do, we had to tell him to go home and rest properly. And me and Cloud went out to search for Shadow. Now, in the end, you know the results later on. But we were able to find the presence of Shadow. Now, with that, you would know that I was also able to take care of another villain that was unrelated to Nintendo, remember? George Orwell actually appeared in a video where Sephiroth Sword 57 reviews T. And in that one, I was able to kill George Orwell's ghost and have him removed for good. Crono, do you remember when you were convicted falsely for kidnapping the princess and had to fight the robot dragon? That was one of the hardest trials to witness as a child. I understand. Yes, that was a great moment in the story, right? So many great moments in Chrono Trigger. We got the escape sequence from the prison. We got the part when we found out about Lavos for the first time and that he was gonna destroy the world. That was quite the twist. Once again, we have to thank the creators for for coming up with such an intricate and well-made and well-written story. Thank you so much, Yuji Horii, Akira Toriyama, and Hironobu Sakaguchi for creating such an amazing masterpiece that I was able to be part of. Now, again, I want to go over a few more things, because the last couple of videos on the timeline, I was actually part of most of them. The last 3 videos I was part of. As you know, with the San Andreas 2 review. Now, we all know I was tricked by this evil villain who was copying Sephiroth Sword 57. This Chef Daddy 57 character. Who, well, I am ashamed that I was not able to see through his ruse, but he had disguised himself as Sephiroth Sword 57, and while I was suspicious of his actions, I unfortunately was tricked by him as well. Now, I was surprised that he was able to well, actually fight us off. He was using some Dragon Ball moves, remember? He can use the Mafuba and the Kamehameha. That was quite interesting. That Nihonbo outsmarted the best of us. He sure did. Now, because of Sephiroth Sword 57's quick thinking and strategic mind, he was able to defeat Chef Daddy 57's crew and trap Chef Daddy 57 back in the San Andreas game, where he belonged. And that was the end of that. Now luckily, Sephiroth Sword 57 was able to recover fast after that. He just had to read some manga and play some JRPGs to get back to his normal self. So, if you were worried about him at the end of that video, when he was all beat up, don't worry, he was fine, and you would see it in the next video as well, the Time to Celebrate video, where we celebrated all our achievements over the years. That was a fun video, but also a very sad one, because that's the one where Noctis unfortunately took his last breath, and well, I already went over that, and I'm sure you swordlings are just as sad as we were when we found out about it. But then, after that, it has already been 5 years. 5 long years since Shadow disappeared, and we finally found a trace where he could be. Now, unfortunately, we were not there when Sephiroth Sword 57 confronted Nintendo by himself. At the end of the review, we told him that he should have asked me and Cloud for backup, and 2B as well. But he wanted... Sephiroth Sword 57 knew that they would release Shadow, so he was desperate. He wasn't thinking straight. I wish Noct had been in more videos. Yeah, I feel the same. It's the same here. And well, you know the end of the Breath of the Wild video. But let's talk about... Now, I don't want to give anything away, but... How many of you swordlings have seen Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden, Episode 1? I want you all I want to hear all your thoughts. Because I do appear in that video. Except I am undercover as a character named Tsuko. Let me take some more tonic. Hold on. Thank you there, Vomi-san. Good work. That is Gaiden episode 1. Now, Cloud was also in there. He was undercover as someone named Bo. Now, Kensuke Dojinshi, who, I don't want to go into too much detail, but you know that was the person that was in Sephiroth Sword 57's body while he had amnesia. And we had to play the role of his friends and classmates. Now the reason why we can't say. I can't tell you yet. But I will say that Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden will continue. So that story will continue later. Gaiden is the best piece I've seen in a long time, and I'm still waiting patiently for episode 2. Yes, you should. And yes, it is great. Crono, have you ever met Rance? I find his games enjoyable if you turn off the ridiculous as adult scenes. Oh, those games are great, yes. The Rance games? Yes, they're great. Now, I've only played the very first one. I'm sure Sephiroth Sword 57 has he has a more in-depth take on that series. But yeah. Now, all you swordlings out there and my fans, this was going to be a shorter stream, and I will go on for a bit longer. But what Sephiroth Sword 57 usually does at this point is that he's reading out all the donation and subscriptions, so let's go over that. Alright? And you can still keep asking questions. Let's see here. Well, I don't see anything here. Well, I guess there were none for today. I guess it makes sense. I guess it makes sense since Sephiroth Sword 57 isn't here. You wanted Sephiroth Sword 57 to react to when you do. You wanted him to be here when you do donations. I understand. Wait, Sephiroth Sword 57 will be back tomorrow, so you don't have to worry. Now, I don't know what he has planned for tomorrow, but it will be around the same time. So, yeah, check out his his Twitter and on YouTube tomorrow, and you should be able to see when he will be streaming. Chrono-sama, what is a good way to distinguish between Sef-sama and Sef-Daddy57? I wanted to ask him, but I'm afraid he would get mad at me. Well, you see, they do look quite familiar, but that is because, well, there's a reason for it. Oh, Kev-san, thank you for the follow. Now, I would like to point out as well, for those of you who are joined later, that these streams are being streamed to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So that's why you see comments from both YouTube and Twitch. Just in case you were wondering. Anyway, back to the question. To differentiate, well, Sef-Daddy57 dresses differently, and, well, he has a lot, well, he has a, how do I say this? He has a bit of a, well, his language is quite crude in comparison to Sephiroth Sword 57. So, there are nuances you can notice if you pay attention. And also, he's a Westerner, so the smell of Doritos would be the best tell in real life. Well, I personally didn't get a smell of that, but he does smell of McDonald's all the time, which, if you saw the San Andreas 2 video, you probably understand why. And he also doesn't take care of himself. He smells like someone who hadn't taken a shower in a year. He's pretty much the opposite of Sephiroth Sword 57. He's gross, disgusting, he's a Westerner, he likes bad games, he's being crude, and he's being disrespectful. Yeah, it's of course he seems to have to be a master of disguise. So he was able to disguise himself as Sephiroth Sword 57, I believe. I bet Nanami smells like strawberry Pocky. Well, you are pretty close, actually. She does smell very sweet. But I can't talk too much about that. That is something you have to ask Sephiroth Sword 57. Table manners is also a good tell, where Sef-sama will politely and mannerly eat ramen. Sef-Daddy57 will wolf down a burger with no regards for the slobber and being splattered everywhere. Yes, exactly. You can tell the difference if you pay attention. Now, we actually didn't even know who Sef-Daddy57 was until, well, he showed up in front of us. And you can't really blame us, for we thought that it was Sephiroth Sword 57 acting strange. We didn't know that there was someone who was imitating him. Also, do you know if Seth-sama tends bonsai trees as a hobby? Well, he has done it in the past. He doesn't have one currently, but it is something that he wants to get back into. Alright then. Let's see. Well, I went over the timeline already. So that part is over. How did Seth-Daddy57 learn Mafuba? He's surprisingly powerful. Yes, and he blasted us away with his Kamehameha. I wonder why. I unfortunately can't answer your question. Now everyone, one last time. Get your question out before the end of the stream. I will be ending the stream soon, so if you have any more questions, let me know right now. If they're about Sephiroth Sword 57, about me, or, well, stuff around the Sephiroth Sword 57 show. I'm sure I can answer some of your questions. All right. All right, let me see here. Favorite Suntory drink? Oh, like Suntory whiskey. I do enjoy that quite a bit. Me and Seth-sama had a few drinks, a few of Suntory whiskey together. And that was very good. Can Seth-sama summon a Keyblade? I have not seen him done that personally. Well, knowing Seth-sama, it could be possible, or it could not. We don't really know. He was able to use moves from Naruto and Bleach, so... You never know. Which server does 2B play on? I don't know, personally. I actually don't know. I believe the same as Cloud. I bought a whole case some months ago and really loved them. Oh, I bet you did. Now, I know Sephiroth Sword 57 prefers to use those Suntory whiskey for his highballs. He really enjoyed those. Crono, do you know if Seth-sama plans to bring any other characters on for questions? Not that you are a bad host. Oh yeah, no, he chose me because, well, I was the first one. I do know that Shadow was on a long time ago, but whenever he's busy, he's going to call one of one of his friends, to host the streams. So, probably, maybe, I don't know. I mean the Suntory can specifically, but the Torii whiskey is great too. Ah, I see. Seth-sama had a Suntory Strong Zero on his table some streams ago. Ah, yes, that's right, the Strong Zero. Now, I personally have not had those. I know that Zephyr Sword 57 had quite a few of those when he went to Japan. He said they were very easy to drink. I feel like Seth-sama using a Keyblade would be a downgrade to his powers. I'm not so sure about that. Keyblades are very powerful. Seth-sama really only needs his trusty Bokken, after all. That is true. Will you and Cloud co-host another stream sometime? Maybe. I don't know. That is a good question. Well, if he's asking me, I could well, if he asked me to be a host, I could ask Cloud to join me. Crono, do you know what consoles Seth-sama still owns? I know his collection would be Super Sugoi. Now, I do know that he still has his PlayStation and Sega consoles. He keeps all of his consoles that he has gotten over the years. Of course, the Nintendo consoles, which he has never owned himself. Those have only been borrowed. All right. Okay, you have to speak English in these streams. I want to point that out to everyone. This is for English only. If you speak any other language than English or Japanese, then we will time you out. Okay? Oh. He could also always dual wield with a Bokken and a Keyblade. Oh, that would be interesting. That would be cool. Cool idea. I hope he washed his hands after handling the Nintendo consoles he borrowed. Well, Seth-sama is always careful when it comes to that kind of stuff. He would... Well, as you all know, you can't trust Nintendo. With anything, really. All right. So let's see. Well, I guess there needs to be some rules changes on stream. I thought I thought it was obvious. I thought it was common knowledge. Now, Towa-san, you don't make fun of fellow swordlings, especially higher ranked swordlings. Omi-san is a rank above you, so you need to show him respect. Crono, do you place a higher emphasis on personal hygiene or punctuality? Both are Sugoi character traits. Well, for me personally, it is punctuality, but I do also take care. I also make sure to keep myself clean so that I don't get sick. Time travel is really demanding on the body, and well, when you change to different times in time spaces, you get exposed to all kinds of different bacteria and such, and atmospheres, and you need to keep yourself clean. Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention it. How many of you in here right now can you use my emote? Sephiroth Sword 57 have provided an emote for me. I believe it's called Crono. It's called Chef Cool, I believe. Oh, there they are. Look at that. Lucas, what did I do to Sephiroth Sword 57? Well, he's not here at the moment. He had to take a break, so I took over. If you have a question for me, let me know. You might have a question about Sephiroth Sword 57. Ah, now this is good music. Now, I believe that is Chinese I see in stream. I believe I said before that we only deal in Japanese and English here. Any other language is not allowed. Looks like Seth-sama has to put up some new rules. Okay then. Well, any last questions for me? Well, I will be beginning to wrap up the stream. Yes, this is shorter than the Sephiroth Sword 57 streams, which are usually 2 hours or longer. but these were more of a Q&As, so we are right now at the end of the stream. Now, this was fun. Being able to talk to your swordlings for the first time was quite a treat. Now, I have done it before with Crono with Cloud quite a while ago, but it was a long time ago, and I wasn't me alone, so this is my first time being a single host. It was quite interesting, and most of you were actually really respectful. Crono, please do your utmost to not let Nintendo get their hands on your IP for a grubby reboot. Your bravery is admirable. Well, thank you there, Kev-san. I will definitely... Well, I will be fighting for what's right. Just like Sephiroth Sword 57 taught me. Yes, so... that is the end of this stream. And for those of you watching, well, I hope you enjoyed the stream. And to quote Sephiroth Sword 57, thank you so much for watching this stream, and have a good night, evening, morning, or day. Moshi mosh!